Hey, this is Mark Davis with Big Water Adventures. I want to show you how to wrap two pieces of TwinTack, because right now they come in two pre-cut lengths, which is good for about 90% of what you want to do. But the one thing I've ran into is with a spinning rod, like this is one of my popping outfits, sometimes my jigging outfits. You know, it's a heavier spinning rod with a big long foregrip and a big long butt, and you're going to use all of it. You're going to use the reel seat, you're going to use the foregrip. You may even go down when you're casting and grab it down here. So you're going to need a lot of TwinTack, and I figured out a way to do it with two strips, and you can lock them together. And believe it or not, the only place that it will have any adhesive whatsoever will be on itself down here at the very bottom. But to start, you do it just like you've seen us do in all the other videos. You're going to wrap that tapered piece right there, and you're going to go around it. And it's important on this first go around, turn the bail of the reel, the handle of the reel away from it. It'll make it easier on you if you've got line on it. It's important to pull it pretty tight and lock that down. Once you've got it locked down, you just start following the contours. On the next wrap, you'll see it's actually going to go over that again, just like that. Now I'm just going to follow the contours all the way down for this entire full wrap, because I know I'm going to need this plus some, and then it's a super easy process to connect the two, and you don't even need any tape to do it. You see I'm keeping some pressure on it. Some people like to overlap it. I like to keep it side by side. I don't even care if there's just a thin, you know, you can see a tiny thin black in between it where some of that EVA is poking through. 99% of that surface area is covered by this stuff. It's not going to move. This is a textured handle. And when I get down to where I need to use the second piece, there's this really cool taper on both ends of this stuff. And I'll tell you, it was by design, because we spent about 2 years getting this stuff right before we took it out on market. I've got 2 solid years of Big Water Adventures under it, and I don't even know how many thousands of hours with it on about every kind of rod you could imagine. Love the stuff. So you can see I'm getting into the taper right here. Once you get to that taper and you feel it going into your fingers, figure out where you're going to be with it. I'm going to be on the top, which is perfect. So I'm going to take this intentionally right here, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of a gap. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw an X. I'm a color kind of guy as far as liking to have stuff match. It's part of my OCD and ADD mixed together. So all we're going to do right here is we're going to take this taper and that taper, and we're going to make an X. You can see it right there, and pin it with my thumb in one spot, or my forefinger, whatever's easiest for you. And then we're going to do the same thing, nice and tight on that first wrap. You're going to come around and you're going to catch them both. Catch it even, and on your next one, you'll go down and you'll lock them again. In this rod, they're both going to pretty much lock around right about the handle. Now, once we get to the handle, it's a judgment call, but I'm going to take one more wrap around this because I want a little bit more contour right there. And then I'm going to pull real tight, go back across the base, and go in on the other side of the handle. And then from there, you have it proverbially whipped. You're just going to follow the contours down. You can do one of two things here. I'm coming to where it screws into the reel seat, both of the washers. I'm going to take it below that, and then what I like to do, I'll stop it right here. Now you could go on down into the EVA below this, but for me, you can see where I stopped right there. I'm just going to go around those two locks, which locks your reel seat in place. Then I'm going to go into the threads below it. Then we've got that last little piece of contour right there. So I'm going to back it up just a hair, and it's real simple. You just cut what's left at an angle, about a 45-degree angle. Doesn't have to be clean because you're going to overlap it into the bottom. And then, out of all this stuff, everything you just saw me do, this little piece of TwinTack tape right here is all holds in place. I'll admit I was a little bit anal retentive to begin with, and I put the TwinTack tape on there and a whole bunch of electrical tape and 3 pieces of TwinTack and some other stuff. It was kind of amazing to me how little it actually took to hold this stuff in place. So now, if you think about from your fishing standpoint what you're going to be doing, you've got it covered. If you're a pinky, 2 fingers, you know, 4 finger on top kind of guy. You've got this nice grippy, doesn't matter whether it's wet, fish slime, what it is. Then when you bear down on them, you stick it in the gut and put the flubber gimbal to them. You've got the foregrip, nice and tacky. I promise you it'll give you more power, less effort, more comfortable. Stuff's amazing. TwinTack.com, TwinTackFishing.com. We got a bunch of videos on how to wrap different kinds of rods. Give you an idea what the material is. Take 2 outfits. Wrap one with TwinTack, one without. Fish them side by side for a day. I won't have to tell you anything else, I promise.